Oh no, 2K is back at it again, guys, and if you're like me and you want to see 2K do better, then like the video right now and let me know down below in the comments one thing that you would add to my team to make it better, because we have a couple things that we gotta cover, including the new stuff we're getting, which by the way, we're getting super packs and new players, and yeah, it's a mess. Now, 2K also did finally respond to the whole, free Invincible drama that basically everybody had an issue with of course, the new season and stuff like that. So I do want to show you guys that first, and then we're going to cover everything else that we are getting in my team.
By the way, one more thing as we get into this game. I see many of you talking about Paul George. Remember, feedback should go in our Discord. That's discord.gg/NBA2K. There is a game feedback channel. That is feedback. That's not a bug. If you want to submit feedback about that, feel free to submit it there. I will say, though, very transparently, I have seen feedback in the past that when they were not the same, when the base pass and the Pro Pass and Hall of Fame Pass version were not the same, there were equally people who were really disappointed in that. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
And did you hear that? Yeah, so basically Evan said that, like, yeah, they're not doing anything about the free Invincible Paul George, and so they are no longer going to be basically, well, I shouldn't say they no longer are, because 2K always changes their mind, every other day. But at the same time, though, with Paul George, it does not look like 2K is going to be updating the free Invincible. So for those that were hoping 2K was going to update him and make him a real Invincible like the other Invincibles that I've done gameplays with, they're not going to do that. So if you were hoping for that, that is not going to be something that 2K is going to be updating, because apparently after like 2, maybe 3 years of, making the Pro Pass and the free one different by making the Pro Pass really good and the free one just the generic one, they just randomly decided to do it. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because, I don't know, they gave us an Invincible. That's literally the reason why. They did not want to give us an overpowered, broken Invincible for free, which is crazy to me. So, 2K, you can always do better in that department. I just don't get again why they waited, 2 years, 2+ years to like finally make them the same. And then say that it was the, 2K community complaining before of how it used to be different, which I will say people definitely did complain about that, because a lot of people felt that it was pay to win, and it definitely was, because the Pro Pass one always is better than the regular one. And what's even crazier is the fact that people just really had an issue with the fact that it's not really an Invincible because of the animations. Like, they kept his lower upper the same as his Galaxy Opal, which, it doesn't really feel like an Invincible. So people really just have an issue with the fact that they didn't make him a real Invincible card, not the fact that the Pro Pass and the regular one is the same one, even though obviously that is something they changed, out of nowhere after 3+ years, 2-3 years, whatever the case is. So yeah, if you were expecting 2K to update the free Invincible Paul George, the answer is no, they are not going to be updating it. And now let's talk about what they are updating and what they're adding, because Season 7 somehow got worse. I don't know how 2K always does it, but they found a way. And are you guys ready? So let's keep it moving and pushing, because they're updating their favorite thing, the pack markets, and it's just, I don't understand what they're doing. And so let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so we are getting more super packs like I mentioned, and I love this right here, downtown, 2K going downhill, because what happened to Tuesday content? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, what happened to getting the free stuff, the free players? Back in the day, the Tuesday content would be new, and sometimes you would get the whole, set of players for free. And now 2K is no longer doing that. They're basically just straight up just being like, hey, super packs, and then here's like 4 extra players, which, we got Invincible Gary the Glove, which I do personally like Gary this year. Like, this year they made him really good. His Dark Matter card is one of my favorite Dark Matters this year in my team. Like, if you guys ever used his Dark Matter card, like, he's really good. So, I don't think they could really do much to him to make him better. Obviously, they're going to find a way. I don't think they'll give him the Paul George treatment. So actually they might, who knows? You know what I mean? At this point, who knows? But he is a 6'4" point guard, so he's getting the Invincible treatment. Like I said, one of my favorite cards this year is the Dark Matter one. So with him getting an Invincible, that's just gonna be another card that is gonna be super rare. And these pack odds, really, they need to like start increasing the odds, because it's about to be the next 2K very soon. And I'm assuming it'll probably still be less than 1% to even have a chance at pulling the Invincible. And also the 100 overall, which is my boy George. George miking up in here. The Lakers legend, bro. The Lakers got to put some respect on my boy. I don't even think, have they retired his jersey? Someone let me know, but I don't think they have yet. But yeah, George right here just, yeah, I mean, a 100 overall, it's going to be George. We do have a Dark Matter Pistol Pete. I'm always a fan of Pistol Pete because he's a taller point guard, but at this point, there's just a lot of taller point guards out there, And then we do have Rick Barry, which Is Rick Barry another shooting guard? And then, of course, they're going to have the Invincibles, 100 overall players, Dark Matters. I mean, they say 6 additional Invincible, 25 plus, 100 overall cards, and then 75 plus Dark Matters. And so they have no mention of Opals and stuff like that. So they're just straight up just doing Dark Matters, 100 overalls, and Invincibles now for Tuesday, drops. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they don't say anything about getting like a free player, like an equal chance pack or a free pack. Like I was expecting a free 100 overall player, kind of like how they did, last time, just because, like I just thought they would, you know what I mean? So that's a little scary with season 7. Even though, like I said, with Gary the Glove getting updated, his animations were already really good. So with the fact that they kind of just already said they screwed up, or not screwed up, but they purposely did the Paul George shenanigans, like I'm not very optimistic with this season. Like this season started off a little shaky and very bad with Invincible Paul George getting cheesed, and it's just going downhill, which I guess makes sense with their super packs down. Yeah, going down. What happened to Tuesday contents? It's crazy. And then, of course, you guys know with George, he's going to be I guess, 6'10 power forward. 100 overall cards are still rare, so I'm expecting he'll get the animation boost that Paul George probably should have gotten. Or maybe he'll just be the same Devin Booker and then Collins Upper. It could definitely happen. They do, of course, have, like I showed you guys, Pistol P, which, 6'5", I do like his size, but a lot of top point guards out there. But he'll probably get some, actually, he'll probably just change his release timing to very quick. That's probably going to be the one thing they do to Pistol Pete. So there's that with him if you were curious to see how these cards are going to be looking. And then, of course, Rick Barry, 6'7". He's going to be a shooting guard. So he had an Amethyst back in the day, Mr. Barry. And he'll probably also get a very quick release timing. So after Paul George, I'm really not expecting too many animation changes to a lot of cards. Even though, like I mentioned, the scariest part about this is the fact that they don't mention anything free. And it's just super packs. Because previously I was looking at it because I thought it was tripping. I was like, maybe they didn't mention it on the first drop, but they do, because if you take a look at, just the most recent super packs that we would get last season, stacked shatter prize pieces from Flash Challenge groups, you would basically get this and it would be a free 9, like the most recent one, 99 plus, right? So 99 plus overall premium player pack right here. And then, of course, they'd be like, hey, new players, opals, Dark Matters, whatever. And they basically did that the whole last season. So I'm kind of just a little confused at the fact that, like, what? How did we go from getting a free 99 plus overall premium? It did take 5 weeks to get it, but that's why I thought it was going to be a free 100 overall for this season, because it's a new season, right? And then last time, yeah, with the heroic super packs, they had an equal chance pack. So yeah, complete the heroic challenge group to earn a diamond to Galaxy Opal equal chance pack. And I'm reading this again and there's no mention of anything free. So yeah, season 7 is going downtown. So if they do somehow add something, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. In the meantime though, check out the GOATS card I picked up. Also check out the God Squad. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.